Hey everyone, are quantum computers a threat to Bitcoin? Let's talk about that, as a handful of people have sent me different articles. What triggered this was that Google has a quantum computer called Willow, and they just released that their quantum computer did some cool new stuff that other quantum computers haven't done yet, and they're using it as proof that, hey, maybe quantum computers are right around the corner. So, a couple thoughts. One, quantum computers that could actually crack cryptography or security systems that are currently in use are decades into the future, minimum 10 years, probably more like 20. People have been talking about quantum computers since the 1990s. Here we are in 2024. We're still a very long way away. So one, everyone agrees that the threat from quantum computers is a decade plus away, probably multi-decade pluses away. Second, if quantum computers start cracking encryption technology, Bitcoin will be the least of your concerns, because they're going to crack everything else first. So long before Bitcoin has a problem, your bank accounts, your websites, all of the secure communication on the internet, that is going to get cracked and unencrypted long before Bitcoin has a problem, just due to the nature of how difficult it is to crack that sort of thing as opposed to Bitcoin. Third, Bitcoin has the best software developers in the entire world working on it. Literally the best developers, the most capable cryptographers, the most competent people with cryptography, mathematics. Those people, the best of the best of the best, work on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the coolest thing. There's nothing else you can work on that is protecting $2 trillion of value with your cryptography skills than Bitcoin. So therefore, Bitcoin attracts all of the most competent good guys because there's the most at stake. So Bitcoin has the most competent developer network of literally anything on the planet, which means Bitcoin, if there is an actual threat from quantum computers to the cryptography of Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going to get upgraded long before anything else gets upgraded. It's going to take way longer to adopt for regular old banks, including community banks and that sort of thing, to upgrade their websites and their login portals and their mobile applications. That process is just, it's like the the Y2K bug. If you had a central system like Bitcoin, it's a lot easier to patch that for the Y2K bug than it is every tiny little system running airlines and ATMs and all of that sort of stuff. So in addition to that, people talk about the early Bitcoin that was mined by Satoshi Nakamoto himself to get the network running, and they act like it's all in one wallet where somebody could hack it. It's spread across 22,000 wallets. So um, every time Satoshi Nakamoto mined a block, which was 50 Bitcoin back then, it went to a different address on the Bitcoin blockchain. So they act like it's this honeypot with a bunch of Bitcoin in it, and the moment somebody cracks it, they can have all that Bitcoin. No, it's 22,000 honeypots, and every one you crack, you get 50 Bitcoin, which obviously does add up if you crack a lot of them. But again, the entire network could be upgraded to quantum proof and quantum compatible cryptography long before it actually becomes a problem. And people talk about the difficulty of upgrading the Bitcoin network. It's not difficult to upgrade the Bitcoin network as long as there's consensus that it needs to be done. The reason there's been a lot of changes have not happened on the Bitcoin network was a large percent of the network did not agree that the change was necessary. Therefore, there's lots of people complaining that their new win feature that did this or that never made it into the core Bitcoin code that runs the. And the answer is, well, because people didn't think it was worth it. They didn't think the risk reward of introducing new code with new features was worth it. So they didn't bother because they didn't think it was worth it. If quantum computing is actually a threat, then that's going to be something that it's very easy to get agreement on, and therefore Bitcoin will be upgraded accordingly. So am I worried about the quantum computing threat? No. People have been dreaming up things to be worried about from the beginning of time. Everybody that gets quoted in these articles has an incentive to play up how big a threat it is. Nobody wants to say what I say, which is, hey, it's a threat that's a long way in the future. It will probably never materialize. If it ever materializes, really good software developers are going to fix it. long before it becomes a problem. That doesn't make a good soundbite. That doesn't scare anybody. That does not meet the criteria of if it bleeds, it leads, which is what news runs on, which means every story you're going to see about Bitcoin and quantum computers is going to be, oh no, the sky is falling. Something bad might happen. And then they'll quote people who are in the industry who of either quantum computers saying it's right around the corner, or people who are trying to sell products and services to make stuff quantum resistant, which of course are also going to say the threat is right around the corner. So coming from someone who has, 97% of their liquid net worth in Bitcoin, I'm telling you, the threat is not imminent, will probably never materialize. And if it starts to materialize, Bitcoin will be upgraded far before anything else gets upgraded. And the stuff that's going to end up getting hacked is the millions of technological systems that are old that nobody's really paying attention to nowadays. And, they don't have the world's best software developers working on them all at the same time. So, anyway, like everything, every news story involves the sky falling, massive change needed. They're trying to scare everybody because nobody reads news that's not sensational. And the truth is, there's not a threat right now. If there becomes one, it'll be fixed more than a decade before it's a real problem. And of all the things you should be worried about, Bitcoin is not one of them because everything else in your life is going to get cracked and hacked by quantum computers long before Bitcoin has that problem, because all the other things in your life that rely on cryptography, including all your bank accounts and your retirement funds and all that sort of stuff, that stuff, I promise you, does not have the very best software developers in the entire world working on it every single day the way Bitcoin does. So, short take is don't worry about it. Accumulate as much Bitcoin as you can. It's not a threat you need to worry about now. And if it ever becomes one, it'll be fixed more than a decade before it actually matters. So, Bitcoin's in a great spot. That's not going to change. Thanks, everyone.